What's up guys, it's MetroGame75. Here today we're playing Sakura Succubus 8 Part 3. Alright, here we go. The next morning. I yawn as I slide into my place at the kitchen table, pressing my one hand to my mouth to stifle it. I'm so weary I can feel like I could fall face first onto the table. My exhaustion is so great I might actually be welcome at least cooking, though maybe Chari would be better descriptor of what she does in the kitchen. Another omelet like the one she whipped up yesterday would wake me up if nothing else. Though there's a non-zero chance I suppose that ingesting more food like that might put me into an early grave instead. Maybe it's for the best, then that at least didn't act as today's chef. It looks like breakfast was made by Yui's dainty hands instead. Yui was wearing a frilly white apron when I entered the kitchen, but she's already taken it off. Now she's busy plating up food for me and Alice. Good morning, Hiroki. I hope you slept well, though it doesn't look like you did. You have an awful bags under your eyes. If I didn't like you as much as I do, I would say that you look rather unattractive. But maybe getting some food will perk you up. Gee, I hope so. And don't worry about being insulting. I know I look like hot trash right now. Oh no, you're too handsome to ever look like trash, Hiroki. I think you are very good looking at least. And if you do seem weary, then that is the only because I was insensitive and I awoke you. This is all my fault. If you wish to blame anybody for Hiroki's state, lady, then please blame me. You may even punish me if you wish. It would be well deserved. I would let my dip face into the miso soup if you wanted me to, no matter how hot it might be. I'll never learn not to be a newest otherwise. She is going hard on herself. Jesus Christ. Relax. She's going hard on herself. Now, what are you babbling about? Of course I'm not going to dip your face into the miso soup. I've only just prepared it, and it's very hot. It will hurt. Yes, well, that's what was the point. It wouldn't be a proper punishment otherwise. Are you saying that you want me to punish you then? Yui smiles. How interesting. I did not know you were such a misogynist. I will file that away for future reference. What a good start to this video. This is a good start. But for the moment, I would prefer it if you ate my food rather than try to wash your face in it. What do you think, Hiroki? I do not cook very often, but I flatter myself I am decent enough at it. I think you're underselling yourself. This looks more than decent, Yui. The food Yui has prepared for me is pretty fancy. As a matter of fact, she made miso soup like Elise mentioned, but there's also steamed rice, a must-have with a Japanese-style breakfast, some sort of a fish, and cucumber salad. This fare might be pretty simple, but it looks well made, and it is all neatly presented. It reminds me a little of Hifumi's cooking. Actually, though, it doesn't look quite as polished. While Hifumi's food is so good, it could have come from a top-end restaurant. Yui's food has more homey, handmade look to it. That doesn't diminish the value of Yui's cooking, however. If anything makes it more charming. I reach for the fish with my chopsticks, then dip it into the dish of soy sauce Yui thoughtfully brought to the table. But I popped a piece of fish in my mouth and the freshness of fish assails my taste buds the moment it lands on my tongue. It really is good. This is great, Yui. You're a natural. Not entirely. Yui smiles awkwardly. I was very clumsy in the kitchen when I first began my lessons. I would make a lot of simple mistakes. Huh? Even you make mistakes, Lady Yui? Oh yes. A whole host of them. I used to cut myself when I was peeling vegetables, and I mistook the salt for sugar with alarming regularity. Jesus Christ. Sugar for salt, that's crazy. I was hopeless. But if Hifumi ever never lost faith in me, she acted as my teacher in the culinary arts, and she was really quite good at it. She was very patient, and she never shouted at me when I made a mistake. That would be Gordon Ramsay if you ever come across him. You stupid, you idiot sandwich. Yeah. Anyways, if it wasn't for her, I would not be as half good at cooking as I am now. My skills are pale in comparison to hers, but I think the food I am now capable of making is at least edible. I mean, it is, of course. It's more than edible. This is really good. I mean, I'm impressed. Me too. Or at least I would say that, but this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. You're amazing, milady, so it stands to a reason that you be good at cooking too. You're the best! I think you're being too fanciful with your praises. My fare is all rather simple, as I have said. Thank you. Your kind words are most appreciated. Well, of course, we're going to be kind to you. You deserve it. This rice is so fluffy and this salad is so refreshing. I never knew cucumbers could taste this good. Oh yes, they do taste good even down inside you. Yo. Okay. Eating this replenishing my energy, I feel ready to go. Well, good. I'm glad of that because you'll need a lot of energy today. What will I need for the energy for? Oh, did I not mention it? Marina is throwing a charity ball tonight. I thought I might as well take you with me. It will be a good opportunity. Oh yeah. Well, I guess we'll be seeing the MILF tonight. The one with the huge racks. That ball. Did you know about it, Hiroki? I did, yeah, it slipped my mind, but Marina invited me to the ball a few weeks ago to take some photos. I was supposed to head over there myself. Wonderful. Then we could all go together. That works out nicely. Did Marina invite you to the ball too, Yui? Yui might be the queen of the Succubus realm, but I can't imagine Marina going out of her way to be queen upon Yui and an invitation to this illustrious event. There's no love lost between Marina and Yui. They get along about as well as cats and dogs. True. Whenever they spend any degree of time in one another's company, they always wind up butting heads, which is why it doesn't really surprise me when Yui says, naturally she did not invite me. She would probably be happier if I did not attend at all. But you still mean to go. Of course, she cannot very well turn me away at the door, not when I am her queen. I have much more authority than she does, and I do not feel at all ashamed about abusing it. It is my right as a monarch, and in any case, I am not proposing this plan to satiate my own curiosity. I have no particular desire to attend this ball myself. I am only suggesting it because I think it will be good for Alice. For me? Yes, for you. I would like for you to use this as an opportunity to observe Marina like you observed others yesterday, and see how she conducts herself with the various politicians whose favorites she courts. You never know. You might be able to learn something from watching her. Not that I think there is anything particularly remarkable about Marina myself. I find her uniquely unpleasant woman, but I would not dismiss her offhand. She has been able to build quite a successful business. That must mean that she possesses something akin to intelligence. Wow, that's very generous of you. I think so too. See, I can be so courteous when I wish, even about a disagreeable woman like Marina. Now, do eat up, at least. You will need as much energy as you can muster. Right, that's a good idea, but, at least nibbles her lower lip. She looks so anxious. I feel obliged to ask her a few questions. Are you worried about the ball? Well, obviously, I've never been to a fancy event like that before, and I didn't even know I'd be going until a minute ago. What am I supposed to wear? How am I supposed to act? What if I make an idiot out of myself? I don't want to ruin everything. I'm sure you won't ruin everything. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, at least. Like, don't worry. Do you really think so? Of course, Yui will be with you, won't she? I'm sure she'll keep a close eye on you. That's right, I will. I'm sure to give you advice, so try not to fret, even if that is your special skill. Would you really do that for me? Of course I am. Familiar with the events like this, fortunately being royalty, so it should not be too hard for me to irritate with the crowd. You need to only follow my lead. I'm not so sure about this. I'll probably screw up again. You might, if you adopt that attitude, which is why you need to be positive. Do try to look on the bright side. It will do much to improve your mood, I promise. That's easier said than done, but alright. I'll do my best, I guess. I just hope you don't grow to regret putting so much faith in me. Oh boy, don't. It's gonna be alright, okay? She's actually putting way too much on herself. At least as it soon transpires doesn't own any dress which would be suitable for a night spent at a fancy ball, something that Yui takes upon it herself to correct. Yui takes Elise out for shortly after breakfast to buy a dress, alongside some matching shoes and some fancy accessories. You need to be pretty up. You need to pretty you up, Elise. It's urgent. The heck? It's pretty enough as it is, but you won't stand out if you don't make it a bit more of an effort with your appearance. I want everybody's eyes to be on you at the ball. I'm going to help you make a splash no matter what. Everybody? Elise hurries along when Yui's awake, her eyes wide with worry. Isn't that going a bit too far? I don't know if I want everybody staring at me. You might not like it, but you'll have to get used to it if you want to remain in Japan with Hiroki. You need to attain a certain level of fame if you want to keep replenishing your magical energy. You don't want to become so weak that your body begins to disintegrate, do you? Well, of course I don't. That sounds horrible. That is because it is horrible. I'm glad you have some sense of self-preservation, regardless of how shy you might be. This proves you are not a total lost cause. Now, do try to look on the bright side. You never know. You've not been to the creator of the attention before. You might find that you're rather enjoying it after a bit of exposure. I am not so sure about that. But, alright, my Lady Yui. I'll try to trust you. Your judgment is superior to mine. After all, I'm sure you know what's the best of me, even if I do not always know what is best for myself. Well, of course I do. I am the queen of the Succubus realm. My judgment cannot be faulted. Oh boy. And all of that nonsense. Oh, now that was a surprisingly truncated laugh. Maybe Yui's a bit self-conscious about acting too self-important outdoors surrounded by my people. I guess she doesn't want to court any funny looks. Yui might be a member of the Succubus royalty, but she's pretty good at blending in with ordinary humans. I guess that does track though. She did used to live in the human realm for a while. At least looks a little less stressed about the prospect. Dressing up, which is nice, but I'm still a bit confused about all of this. Hey Yui, what is it, Hiroki? I was wondering, you're going to buy a new outfit for Elise, right? Yes, I believe that has already been established. Why do you ask? Well, I was wondering why you wanted me to come along. I mean, I don't really know anything about women's fashion. I doubt I'll be any of use. You might doubt yourself, but I do not. If I did not have any use for you, I would have not invited you along with us on this jaunt. You can always give your opinions. That would be invaluable. I guess. Maybe you would have better luck bringing Cosmos along. I mean, she seems to know a lot about clothes. Oh yes, Cosmo did have an awful lot of clothes in her home. She has such eclectic tastes. You might say eclectic, but I think eccentric will be more accurate. Cosmo's outfits are eye-catching enough, certainly, but I do not think her favorite outfits are suitable for an upscale event like Marina's ball. The outfits she likes to wear are not particularly elegant. In fact, I find them rather gaudy. If given her way, she probably would have Elise wearing cat ears and a collar to the ball, which is not the look I want to go for. Oh, right. That's a good point. While it's true enough, Cosmos doesn't have a passion for clothes, Yui's correct when she says the clothes she wears all tend to be strange. I guess that idea is dead in the water, then. Alright, fine. I don't mind giving my opinions on at least outfits. I can't promise I'll be much of use, but I might have a slightly more discerning eye than Cosmos does, at least. I have no doubts on that score. I think your tastes are exemplary. You do? Of course I do. They must be. You are dating me after all. Well, true, she's not wrong. Hey, we got it. The thumbnail. So what do you think, Hiroki? Yui stands to one side, her arms outstretched, so as to better show Elise off to me. I'm not gonna lie, she actually reminds me of Ketchumi from Genshin Impact, this whole dress. It does look a bit like Ketchumi though, I'm not gonna lie. Yui has been dragging the both of us around numerous high-end bounty points for the last few hours in meticulous hunt for the perfect ball gown that will show off Elise's charms. I've not been finding today's shopping trip all that exhilarating. If I'm being totally honest, I've been trailing along Yui's wake, feeling like a third wheel. I don't think I've made any significant contributions at all day, though my feet are starting to hurt from all of this tripacing. Yui meanwhile has been incredibly exacting her in her criteria for the perfect ball gown. I'm not sure what she's judging these garments on, but she had at least try on this card any numbers of pieces which all look nice to me. This is a little routine has lasted for such a long time. I was starting to lose faith that Yui would ever find something fitting. This dress, however, seems to have captured Yui's attention in the way of none others have. After being summoned to fitting room, I think I can see why. This is a nice find, isn't it? It didn't look like much when it was on the hanger, but I could tell there was something special about it. I thought the cut would flatter Elise's body, and the colors would complement her pale skin, and it looks like I was right. Don't you think she's gorgeous? I think gorgeous might be a bit stretched. My looks aren't anything that special. If I do look nice, it'll be because of this dress. You're being too kind. Oh, nonsense. Carelessly, Yui waves one hand. The dress is very nice and yes, of course it would be when I choose it, but it would not look half as so nice if it was on display on a featureless mannequin. You are the one who is bringing this garment to life, Elise. Why is it almost as though it was made with you in mind? I think you look incredible. Do you not agree, Hiroki? I mean, of course I do. She was like Ketchumi for a reason. Of course, you look amazing, Elise. Really amazing. For a second there, I almost didn't recognize you. Oh, Ellie's face, which was already flushed, turns even redder. I'm glad to hear you say that, Hiroki. But this is a good thing. Does that not imply it would be bad if I look like myself? No, I didn't mean like that. Crap, I guess that's a classic instance of my big mouth striking again. There's a reason I'm a photographer, not a politician. I'm no good with speeches. I just meant you look so gorgeous. It looks like I'm seeing you in a brand new light. You look like a model. I know, right? She's almost too perfect to be true. I knew I made the right decision of having at least tried on so many garments. I realized it might have been a tedious affair for you, Hiroki, but it helped me discover what might suit her best. I cannot imagine we will find any other dress better suited for Elise, not unless we were commissioned one, which of course would be impossible. We do not have the time for it. This dress is one she ought to wear to the ball. I do not think anybody else would suit it so well. I agree with you there. It really is like that dress was made for Elise. It's kind of incredible, really. I didn't know you had such an eye for fashion, Yui. Of course I do. As the queen of the Succubus, my tastes are unparalleled, particularly when it comes to the finer things. Do not tell me you are beginning to doubt my aesthetic sensibilities, Hiroki. Oh, no, of course not. I always had completed faith in you, I swear. Yui presses her lips together. It is rather suspect how your voice is wavering like that. But no matter. Now that we have secured a fitting dress for you, Elise, Marina's Ball is our next destination. I am certain you will make a stunning first impression. How could you not? You really do look gorgeous. Everything is coming together. Later that night. Damn, even Yui looks good too in this. So this is what a ball is like, goodness me. I mean, yeah, it has the best plays of all, and it has the biggest balls of all time. Okay, let's get back. Yeah, biggest balls of all time. But anyway, this is all so what? Are you finding this exciting? At least is it exhilarating? I imagine you must be stuck for words. No, I was going to say this is all very, very intriguing, enjoyable, anxiety-inducing. Actually, an awkward giggly Elise glances about, her fingers curled together at her fronts, and as do I. This charity event of burritos is being held at the same venue as the one I attended last year, so I'm familiar with the surroundings to an extent. Like, this is literally from like one of the previous Sakura Succubus games. I think from either 5. I mean, between like at least 4 to 5. 4 to 5. The ceiling is high, with several golden chandeliers suspended from it, and the dance floor is shiny and reflective. Plinths are set up around the periphery of the vast room, upon which flowers are arranged in vases, which doubtless cost more than the month of my salary, and curtains which fringe the large windows are a rich wine red. From beyond these windows, I can see the night sky festooned with twinkling stars. In the past, I probably would have been intimidated by such an extravagant room, but now I'm used to it. I guess I've been to so many places this last year that my outlook on life has shifted a little. I can remember well enough how it felt to be in Alice's shoes. However, new to luxurious that people like Marina take for granted, and more than a little overwhelmed. I feel sorry for her, actually. She looks petrified. It'll be okay, Elise. I know this might not be a lot to take in, but you won't be alone. You and I are here, and we'll look out for you. Alright, that knowledge does make me feel a bit better, I suppose. Thank you, Hiroki, for your support. Although, is it just my imagination, or are a lot of people staring at me? Now that Elise mentions it, she does seem to be courting a lot of attention. More than a few heats had swiveled in her direction since she set foot in the ballroom. And I think I know why. The dress that Yui picked out for Elise is doing an excellent job of highlighting her proportions. The dress is clinching without being indecent, and it showcased quite a lot of her bust. Elise always looks pretty, but she looks even prettier than usual now, standing beneath the lights of numerous chandeliers. She's so striking. I wouldn't be surprised if half of the men here have fallen for her. Yui looks beautiful too, doesn't she always? But she prepared her marked makeup down on purpose in order to help Elise stand out more? She said she didn't want to steal the spotlight from Elise. Yui's plans seem to have been a huge success if all the stares Elise is courting are to believe, and all of the curious whispers too. Man, just who is that charming vision of loveliness? Is she an actress, a singer? She must be famous, surely, with a face like that. Oh, wow, she's such a darling. Look at her heart-shaped face. Oh, look at those eyes. Man, look at those legs. Yo. Is she a friend of Miss Wakatsuki's? I wouldn't be surprised. Miss Wakatsuki has excellent tastes, as per usual. The company she keeps is truly second to none. That is why I always appreciate being invited to these events of hers. There's no better opportunity to network with pretty women. And potential business partners too, of course. At least must be able to hear at least some of these whispers. Because her cheeks turned pink, surely she ducks for cover behind my back, trembling all the while. She looks so fearful she can't meet anybody's gaze. Now, this might be a problem. Are you alright, Elise? I'm alright. I'm just not used to this much attention. This is all very new to me, but I will do my best to take it in my stride. If I'm going to attain the same level of fame as my fellow Succubi, I need to be able to endure at least this much. I have to stop being so silly. I don't think you're silly now. Hey, I found Lee's hand, then give it with a gentle squeeze. Don't be so hard on yourself. I know it comes naturally to you, but it's normal to be anxious when you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Is it really? Of course, I don't think there's anything wrong with you, but if you're worried, you should try to take a deep breath. Just relax. I'll be with you. Alright, deep breaths. I'll do my best. Alice begins to inhale and exhale in a very exaggerated way, one hand pressed against her chest, all the while. My advice was pretty general, and I didn't think she'd take it quite this seriously. She's being so serious about this. In fact, I'm afraid she might hyperventilate. I'm starting to wonder if I should tell her to dial things down a notch. You don't need to breathe quite that deeply, you know, but... Oh, look who it is! Milkers! Hiroki, darling, it is very good to see you. A familiar voice captures my attention. That and the regular sound of souls clad in high heels approaching me from across the ballroom. While Sakura Marina is approaching me, wearing a skin-tight dread gown, which looks rather similar to the one I saw her wearing during our last charity ball. Yeah, same dress. I'm unsure whether it is the same gown. However, given Marina's mentions that she tries not to repeat outfits at events like this, bro, it's literally the same dress. I've seen this before. Like, if you were to go back to the previous Sakura, like at least 3 through 6 at least, it's the same dress. I guess she does not want to change with this one. Maybe it is a dress made in a similar style by a different company. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what brand of dress Marina's wearing, really. All I know is it's a really expensive high-end dress which was made to design. The dress clings to Marina's every single curve, showing off just how impressive her body is. Marina looks great, but that's no surprise. She always looks great. Hey Marina, it's good to see you again. You too, darling. It feels like it has been far too long since last we were able to spend any quality time together. I have been awfully busy with the preparations for this ball, and I know that you have been busy yourself. Why? Marina's gaze flickers to Elise and Yui, both of whom are flanking me. You really are popular. It seems like I never see you without a +1 nowadays. Or in this case, a +2. I'm glad you have so many women fawning over you, but part of me wishes we could have make more time for one another. If only our schedules were not so busy. Even if your schedules was less packed, Marina, I doubt Hiroki would want to spend much time with you anyway. Oh, now she's pissed. Marina's green eyes flash dangerously, but her voice is icily polite when she addresses Yui. And what makes you say that, Yui? Come on, common sense, really. Let us look at this logically. Why would Hiroki wish to spend more time with you? He has a lot of younger, prettier women in his harem who are vying for his attention, much like you. Who do you think he would prefer to spend time with? A beautiful queen like myself with smooth, unblemished skin, or an old has-been like yourself who is already in her 30s? If I were in Hiroki's shoes, I know who I would choose. Why you? Marina grits her teeth together, her facade of calm momentarily shattered and takes a step forward. Uh-oh. Well, what do you know? Her chest presses against Yui, and their eyes bore into one another's. It's getting so charged in here, I swear I can see sparks flying between them. It always happens whenever Marina and Yui get together. Marina doesn't seem to have much respect for Yui, despite Yui being her superior because Yui is younger than she is and has a fiery temper. Yui, meanwhile, is always trying to round Marina up, largely because of her insolence. They make for quite the dangerous combination. I hope they don't start pulling one another's hair and that cause a huge scandal. You can call me whatever you wish, but that does not change the facts. What facts? that Hiroki does seem to be rather fond of me, and even if my age is more advanced than yours, I may be a bit older than others, but that means I am more experienced. I know better than how to make Hiroki feel good, unlike you. I have a feeling by Sakura Succubus 10 or 11, we're just going to see her in her 40s by then. Oh man. I imagine when you and Hiroki are together, you think of nothing save your own pleasure rather than his own. You're so selfish, I can't imagine you being a good lover, even if your skin is a bit tighter. That is completely irrelevant to making another feel good. So, you think one's appearance is irrelevant when it comes to amorous affairs? Yui snorts. That shows how much you know, Marina. I thought you were meant to be an adult, but your outlook is awfully naive. Men are more shallow than you might think. A young, fresh flower will always be more valuable than an old woman, even if that woman does have experience. In fact, in many cases, that experience will count against her. It might with some men, but Hiroki is not like that. He is a gentleman, and he has always been very complimentary towards me. Are you sure he's not doing that because he feels sorry for you? Maybe he just doesn't want to hurt your feelings. I mean, you said it yourself. He is a gentleman. You. Marina scowls. You take that back, or what? I'll make you regret it. Oh, now that's interesting. And how are you going to do that? I hope you are not forgetting we are in a public place. It will reflect badly upon you if you got into a fight right now in front of all these important men and women. And though I am younger than you, I am your queen. You ought to afford me some respect. If you dare threaten me again, I can use my authority to have you whipped back in the Succubus realm. Yeah, this was back in like the Sakura Succubus 3, the third one. Would you like that, Marina? Don't tell me, despite your pretensions to the contrary, that you're actually a misogynist. You bitch! How an insolent little girl like you was able to become a queen of the Succubus realm is beyond me. You are not suited to it. Why, I ought to... Hey everyone, let's not fight. It'd be better if we drank our troubles away instead. Yeah, that's right. Come on, you two. Lighten up, then drink up. The night's still young, and there's plenty of beer to go around. Shit, do they got any Bud Light? Huh? I turn my head, my attention diverted away from Marina and Yui, and soon come to face with... Oh lord, it's these two. Cosmos and Hazel? That's right. So good to see you again, Hiroki. How's you been, my buddy, pal? I hope life's been treating you well. Same here. I hope you've been looking after yourself, though maybe you seem a little bit tired. Would you like something to drink? That's a good call. Drink up, Hiroki. Life's too short not to. Let's have a ball. I mean, we might as well. We are literally ball right now. Wow, this is really something. Hazel's always beaming with energy 24/7, but it seems like her enthusiasm has rubbed off on our resident cat girl because Cosmo looks similarly buzzed. They're both smiling so brightly, their faces are sparkling. As for their outfits, meanwhile, well, I've never seen them dressed like this before. Hazel and Cosmos have both forgone their casual clothes and their dresses in the attire of their stereotypical German bar wench, complete with ruffled white blouses and the customary mugs of beers in both hands. Now this is an interesting sight. I'm not unaccustomed to Cosmos dress up in weird outfits. It is part of her brand after all. Being a famous e-celeb, but Hazel doesn't often go for her outfits like this. Her clothes tend to be more on the typical side. If you count going commando at all times as being practical, I guess. Now that I think about it, Hazel's skirt is pretty short. She's wearing underwear, isn't she? It's not like I can come out and ask, but I'm kind of curious. Wow, this is a bit of a surprise. I had no idea you two are going to be here as well. Neither did I. Not until the last minute. I hired plenty of catering staff for this event beforehand, but several people had to bow at the last minute, owing to sudden illness. Find myself short-staffed and with only precious hours before this event was set to begin. I had to seek out some external helps with very little notice. I asked Cosmo and Hazel if they wouldn't mind coming here to serve drinks to our guests, and they leapt at the chance. They were so enthusiastic, it was a bit surprising. I did not think they would be so interested. Well, of course I was interested. I've never been to one of these fancy schmancy events before. I wanted to take a look at how the upper Achilles live with my own two eyes. Me too. I've never been to a ball like before. I feel a bit like Cinderella. But instead of wearing a fancy dress, I'm working as a barmaid instead. I don't have a pumpkin carriage to take me back home either. Cosmos looked at me, a shy smile playing about her lips. But I do have a handsome prince right here. Oh, wow, how corny. Both you and Marina react to this girlish remark of Cosmos in a similar manner, the arch derision, until they catch one another's eyes. Then perhaps, perturbed by their shared opinions on this topic, they both harumph. I don't know if I'll have to have enough time to dance with you, Hiroki, since I'm supposed to be working, but I'm happy to see you. Wherever you go, I want to follow you. I have no problem being your cute puppy. Huh? But Cosmos, I thought you were supposed to be a kitty. I'll be whatever Hiroki wants me to be. I'd do anything to make him happy. He is my adorable boyfriend after all. He only needs to ask me to jump, and I'll ask how high. If he wants me to bark, I'll do it in an instant. And if he wants me to get down on all fours, then... Alright, there'll be quite enough of that. I suppose I have to count myself lucky after hearing that little smile that you didn't come here wearing a collar, Cosmos. Though I can't say your actual outfit is much better. Didn't I tell you to dress appropriately for the occasion? Isn't that appropriate? Is this appropriate? Like, it would be if you were in a beer hall in Munich, but we're in the middle of Tokyo and we're at a charity event, no less. When I told you to dress appropriately, I meant you ought to wear something less ostentatious. None of that other wait staff are dressed up like that. They're all in blouses and pants. Well, I know that. Cosmos pouts. But that's boring, Marina. Sometimes it's better to be boring. I prefer practically over making an unnecessary scene. But I couldn't show up to this event wearing boring black pants, Marina. That would be an insult. You work really hard setting this event up, so I figured I had to work hard on my appearance too. I want to show you how serious I was taking this. So you decided to dress like you're going to go to a costume party. No, I want to dress like the good, obedient, subservient waitress that I am. I'm doing this for your sake, Marina. Hey, yeah, Marina. Cosmo spent ages looking through her cosplay wardrobe for suitable outfits for this event. Don't you want to praise her for her hard work? She's a cute puppy and she deserves all of the head pats in the world. Do you really think that? Of course I do. You're adorable. My heart didn't already belong to Lady Yui. I'd probably start filling you up myself. I didn't know that German barmaids were so very popular. I feel even more confident that this was the right outfit to wear. Now, goodness. Marina rolls her eyes. She looks rather fed up with Cosmos and Hazel's comedy routine. I can't say I blame her. Though the pair of them do look in their outfits, it isn't really serving the high-class vibes. I'm sure Rita wanted her event to exude. What the heck? I suppose it's too late to ask the pair of you two to change after you spent the last 15 minutes fitting around those silly outfits already, but I cannot say I approve of this. You're drawing far too much attention to yourselves. Ain't that a good thing, Marina? You ought to be glad you have a couple buxom barmaids at your disposal who are drawing a bunch of eyeballs. I bet there'll be loads of newspaper articles written about us tomorrow. Yes, that is what I'm worried about. I don't want you to upstaging the actual event. I can understand the costume dressing like this, but why did you decide to go along with Hazel? Couldn't you have reined her in? I could, I guess, but that wouldn't be any fun. So you decided to dress stupidly for the sake of your own amusement. More or less, I mean, life's short, like I said. I want to have all sorts of experiences while I still can. And I can't say I've ever dressed up like this before. When's the next time I get an opportunity to cosplay as a German barmaid, huh? Hopefully never. I don't think it suits you. You don't? Not particularly. You look perfectly foolish. I just hope you remember to wear underwear today, if nothing else. Well, about that, Hazel. She is pissed. Marina glowers at Hazel, danger written upon every facet of her face. Don't tell me you came to my charity event, which was devised to raise funds for a local children's hospital, without wearing underwear. Hey, it's not like it was a conscious decision, Marina. It just looks like it slipped my mind. Did it now? Yeah, I mean, I never wear underwear. It's so constricting. I wouldn't be able to serve any drinks if I hadn't beneath my skirt. I'd be totally useless. I can't do anything unless there's a bit of a breeze down there. Oh, for the love of... Maria's left eye twitches. It looks like she's trying to resist the urge to slap Hazel in the face, and I can't say I blame her. Coming to a fancy event like this, sans underwear, does not sound like a bit of a social fox pass. This is a wardrobe malfunction. Just waited to happen. Marina breathes in through her nose, then through her mouth. Then after a pause, she says, "You best count yourself lucky that we're at a crowded public event, Hazel. If it weren't for all those people, I would have no qualms to take your side, then teach you a lesson." A lesson, huh? That sounds kind of scary. It was supposed to. I can forgive cause for being foolish, but I thought you had better head on your shoulders. If I need to beat some sense into you, then I will. Whoa, what the hell? Why is she going off like this? Now, Marina glances about the ballroom. Why did I say what the heck? A well-dressed woman with a boffin of black weird hair piled high on her head is approaching her, tall heels clacking against the floor. This woman is draped in so many jewels. She looks a bit of like a butterfly. She's sparkly. She's very sparkly. I don't know who this woman is, but I imagine based on Marina's reaction that she's somebody of some import. Is she a politician? But that will have to wait for later. Please excuse me, I have business to attend to. Make sure you work hard, you two. You already are on thin ice as it is. Don't try my temper any further for your own sakes. Otherwise, you'll be sorry. Sheesh. Marina shoots Hazel one last lingering look, then sets all to waylay the bejeweled woman with the boffin. Hazel sighs at her departure, her shoulders slumping, then kicks at the floor with the tip of her feet. Jeez, I swear Marina has it out for me. I've not even done anything to upset her yet. I really have been working hard. Yui pressed her lips together. I suppose I can believe that. You might act inelegant, but you have always had a good work ethic, if nothing else. Aw, thank you, kindly Lady Yui. You're too nice. This is why I like you so much. You're way softer on me than awful old Marina. Plus, you're really pretty, especially in that dress. It makes you look even more gorgeous than usual, which is no mean feat. You always look incredible. Now, would you like something to drink, lady? What about you, Hiroki? I accept the pro-offered glass of beer from Hazel's hands, then look around the ballroom. I'm curious to whether I'll find any more familiar faces during my search, and as soon as it transpires... Of course. Oh yeah, these two. Cake! Down to the right, left. I recognize those two women over by the piano. There's an elegant dark-haired woman wearing a sumptuous kimono who's sitting at the stool of the piano, her slender white finger poised over the keys. A few moments of silence pass, and then she sets down her hands. A piano melody soon fills the air, one of which is soft and gentle, but uplifting at the same time. It is obvious that this woman is a skilled pianist, one who is very talented with her fingers. She must have been studying the piano for a long time, something which is news to me. I recognize the woman by the piano, adorned by it though she is in a kimono more sumptuous than the one she usually wears. That's Yamamoto Hifumi, the popular actress and the seasoned Karuta player. Well, it looks like I'll need to attack another Gakkaoja onto her already exhaustive list of them. She's a gifted pianist too. I had no idea she was so talented. Hifumi really is in a league of her own. Hifumi isn't on her own either. There is a woman with long orange tresses seated upon the lid of the piano, holding a microphone in her hand. The soothing piano George washed through the ballroom, building slowly to a crescendo, and then the orange-haired woman opens her mouth and begins to sing. The woman's voice is every bit as pure, as clear as piano, which underscores it. She sounds very sweet like an angel, but her voice has a significant degree of power to it. It is obvious she's talented at singing, just like Hifumi with the piano. Her voice is clear and unwavering, like a stream of crystalline water. It's so incredible. I find myself being swept away by it. I know this woman too. This is Ayu. I always knew Ayu was a good singer, but she usually sings cute, high-energy pop songs with light, irrelevant lyrics. I have not heard Ayu tackle a serious ballad like this before. It's quite unlike her existing discography, but it suits her vocal register. Ayu's singing complements Hifumi's piano playing perfectly. Their performance is an aura treat, one which is making my head tingle. I'm going to get Marita to call these two here to provide entertainment for her guests. If that is the case, then they're both doing an incredible job. A few moments, I can't tear my eyes away from them. All I can do is stand there, struck dumb. It is rare to see Hifumi and Ayu together, but they might make for better combination than I thought. I look at them for a few moments, struck dumb by their sheer raw talent. But I eventually returned to my senses. I wasn't invited to this event so I could stand around looking at like a scarecrow. I'm supposed to be taking photographs, and that's what I'm going to do. Shoot. I passed the next half hour or so flitting through the well-dressed crowd snapping photos. I took photos of Cosmo's Hazel at their instance. Cosmo seems particularly proud of her barmaid outfit, but I divert most of my attention towards the more well-known guests who've attended this event. I'm even able to secure a few impromptu interviews as I take photos with some rather important looking people of political significance. I continue my work bustling this way and that when... excuse me, Hiroki. Oh god. At least calls out to me. It looks like there's something she wanted to tell me. Well, obviously she wouldn't have called out to me, but she can't quite muster up the courage. She's staring at the floor, her face flushed. I guess I shouldn't have taken the initiative. Hey, Elise, what's up? Oh, it's nothing that's important, really. I don't want to be a bother, but, I was wondering, fidget. This was my very first time going to the ball, and as far as I know, it might be my last. I'm not very good with events like these, where there are a lot of people. I'm well aware of that. It's obvious she doesn't even need to state it. So, this is all a bit of overwhelming. I don't want to stand out, but I was wondering, or maybe you could say I was hoping. It's alright if you're not too busy, of course, but if you don't have anything else to do, then, would you mind dancing with a shy, awkward, clumsy girl like me? That's so why she looks so self-conscious, isn't it? She's more of a catchword man in this dress form. I was wondering, it's kind of funny she gets so worked up over such a simple request. But maybe for Elise, this isn't simple. Plugging up the courage to approach me must have been difficult, but she still did it. I think that's pretty impressive. So much so I'm more than happy to put my camera away for a few moments. I can always take photos later. Of course, that's fine. I love to dance with you. Would you really? Of course, why wouldn't I? Dancing with a pretty girl like you would be an immense honor. Oh, please. Elise waves her hand in my direction, perhaps in an attempt to divert my previous compliment. I'm not that pretty, really. I'm sullen and I'm too serious. I don't think I stand out very much, not like Marina who's so mature or I who's so sparkly. I don't have any particular talents and I've never danced before. I'm really uncoordinated, so I'll probably step on your feet too. I doubt dance with me will feel all that good. If you don't want to, you can just turn me down. I'm sure you have other more important things to do anyway. Hey, don't put yourself down so much. I know you're self-conscious, but harping about your own supposed failings won't help. You need to try and be more positive. That's what Yui said too, and she's right. But I'm not very that good at it. I'm too much of a downer. I think this is the way I was born. But I can try and be more cheerful if you think it would be to my benefit. I'm sure it would be. I can't see why you're so pessimistic about yourself. Not when you're so beautiful. You ought to be more confident. I'm just not sure if I'm cut out for being confident. But since you said you ought to dance with me, I guess I would give it a go. I really do want to try it. Just don't be too disappointed, will you, if I make some mistakes? I doubt you could disappoint me in that outfit. Don't worry. I doubt you could disappoint me, not when you're dressed like that. You really do look good. I approach Elise, then snake out an arm around her slender waist, pulling her body against me so she squeaks. And if you do fall over, I'll consider it a bonus. Having a kid like you clinch it to me doesn't sound too bad, really. Oh, Hiroki, you're too kind. You misunderstood me. I brushed a strand off Elise's dark hair behind the shield of her ivory ear. I'm not being kind right now. You aren't? No, I'm being a lech. I'm sure Ayu would agree with me there. I'm smiled somewhat amusedly, then looked to one side. Ayu is still sitting on the piano singing her heartfelt ballad, but her violet eyes are trained on me. Her voice is throbbing with emotions, backed by Fumi's gentle caressing of the piano's black and white keys, but on her face she's wearing a fearsome scowl. Ayu's too far away to speak to me, but her gaze glares says in no uncertain words, "Wow, are you flirting with even more women, Hiroki? You're so shameless, drop dead." Ayu's glowering is pretty scary actually. It looks like she's planning to eviscerate me. Sometimes I think Ayu might even be more intimidating than Marina despite all the pink she wears. Anyways, well, let's ignore Ayu for now though. I'll be sure to give her attention later. You're my main focus right now. I want you to have a good time, Elise. So would you care to have this dance, milady? Oh, Hiroki. Elise sighs dreamily. She looks a bit overwhelmed. I'll worry for a few moments. She might pull away from me and make a break for it, maybe leaving one of her shoes behind. But the moment passes and she eventually smiles. I would love that. She's going too hard with this. I didn't know she's almost as tall as me. I mean, she looks pretty short. I let Elise out onto the dance floor, then draws her to me. Our bodies press together, intimately, Elise's chest against my own. Elise's chest is rather impressive and fancy dress she's wearing doesn't conceal very much of her smooth, pale skin. Though I'm wearing a full suit myself, I can feel the warmth of her body through the fabric of my dress. My fingers, meanwhile, are pressed against the small Elise back, which feels yielding to the touch. When we turn, Elise's hair flutters about her shoulders, a few loose strands of it brushing me, and it makes me tremble as though electrocuted. Our closeness is dizzying. She's captivating. Though this ballroom is full of beautiful women, all of them dressed in her designer clothes and heap of expensive jewelry, I think Elise is more striking than all of them. Oh, I'm very sorry, Haruki. I didn't mean to stamp on your foot. I hope you don't mind too much. I really haven't done it. At least she would be if she wasn't too self-conscious. Elise is working herself up into such a state. Her face is starting to turn red. Her dancing isn't the smoothest, but her panicking is more making her even more uncoordinative. She looks positively petrified. I'm afraid if I don't do something, she'll freeze up altogether, like a statue. I've got to try and inject some self-confidence to this girl. Stat. Otherwise, this will have been a waste of venture. It's alright, Elise. Deep breaths. Huh? Is it really? Alright? There's something hesitant about the way Elise says alright. As though the simple states of her alrightness is an alien one to her. Since she's such a warrior, I doubt she often has cause to consider things as being alright. Knowing Elise and her tendency to catastrophize, it seems more likely whenever she makes even a minor mistake, she takes it as a great personal failing on her part, the harbinger of the end. She really needs to calm down. I don't think I've met any other succubus more in the need of therapy than her, and that includes Ayu, who's probably bipolar. Yes, it's alright. I'm not angry. Please try to relax. Your shoulders are all stiff, like, you know. Will not be able to dance smoothly if you don't calm down. I know that, but at least sniffles. Even if I was calm, I doubt I'd be able to dance properly. Not to cut out for it. I'm too awkward. You are a little awkward, yeah, but so am I. I'm not good at this either, but I'm trying not to let it get to me. Let's just go with the flow. But everyone else is so good at dancing. They all look like professionals. Won't they all judge us? Maybe they will. But so what? This is a fancy event. Nobody's here's going to be pretty enough to walk our failures to our faces. At least I hope they won't. Other people's opinions are irrelevant, especially if they have good grace to keep them inside their heads. You don't know what they're thinking, so you better be off not trying to guess. You need to focus on yourself first. You might be alright, but I still feel so self-conscious. My hands are getting all sweaty too. Elise pulls a face. I'm really sorry, Hiroki. It was very nice of you inviting me to dance, but I'm just making a mess. You would have been better off if you asked Milady after all. Marina, I'm sure they're better at this than I am. They might be, but I want to dance with you. You're my partner now. Not either of them, so stop comparing yourself. I'm sure you'll be plenty good at dancing, you just need a bit of practice. I think you're being a bit too kind to me. But since you decided to put your faith in me, I'll try to live up to your expectations. My heart is really pounding, though. It's nerve-wracking being surrounded by so many people, and your body is so close to mine, Hiroki. And I didn't know that the waltz was such an intimidating dance. I thought it was more mannered than this. I'm starting to get excited. Oh. I thought Elise was looking a bit flush, but I attribute that to the general self-consciousness and embarrassment. Maybe I misread the situation, though. She isn't getting excited, is she? I've heard my scent is pretty potent as far as human men go, and Elise has had less exposure to it than other members of my succubus harem. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. I don't want Elise getting worked up in a public setting like this. She might be into that kind of thing, but I don't want her getting in trouble. Your face is very red. Yeah, and your breathing sounds a bit labored. Do you want to sit this out? We probably should, but now that I have you in my arms, I'm starting to feel greedy. I know my other sisters like you a good deal, but right now, I want to keep you all to myself. I like you so much, Hiroki. It's hard to contain myself, especially when you're being so kind to me. I'm a useless screw-up, but you're so sweet. I don't deserve it. Elise begins to breathe heavily, and her face turns redder still. But I am a selfish girl, so I want even more of you. This isn't enough. I want to feel even more of you. Hey, Elise. I take a staggering step backwards, alarmed by Elise's newfound boldness, and then... Elise's body is jerked forward. Her slender, delicate body slips to one side. Then she falls. She grabs a hold of me. Her expression is panic. Uh-oh. And then the two of us hit the floor, and we weren't the only ones. While falling, Elise also managed to bring Cosmos down with her. What? Was she around the area of us dancing? Ah, jeez. What a mess. Oh, that really hurts. Cosmos was holding onto a mug of beer before impacting, but she's since spilled it. Now all three of us are dripping wet. Elise's face is horribly flustered, which is understandably, I guess. Elise and I didn't court that many curious looks while we're dancing, but people are definitely staring now. Well-dressed men and women, the men in suits and the woman with coiffured hair glances over alarmed. My, what a to-do. I hope those two girls are alright. That looked like quite a nasty fall. Who's that girl in the black anyway? Why is riffraff like that let into this event? I have no idea how she managed to get her hands on a ticket. I'm not sure why that waitress is dressed like a German barmaid either. It all seems rather tasteless. Now, let's not judge Miss Wakatsu's tastes, okay? I'm sure there's a reason behind that interesting wardrobe choice. Yes, I'm sure there was. I imagine she wanted to appeal to perverts like you who enjoy the sight of a girl in a short skirt. Takanori, dear. You're so transparent. Satsuki, dear, please be reasonable. There's nothing perverse about enjoying the sight of a girl with nice thighs and a short skirt. That's human nature. It doesn't mean I appreciate you and any less, though. Hear me. Here. Gosh, if I'd known the wait staff at this event would be like this attractive, maybe I wouldn't have come to this event with my wife. I heard that. Let's not argue, everybody. These two girls have done nothing wrong. They simply got into a bit of a scrape, okay? Somebody should help them. I hope they aren't injured. I imagine you would hope that. You're such a philanthropist. Well, don't get your hopes up. I doubt that barmaid will sleep with you if you offer her a hand. Her outfit might be revealing, but I doubt she's that easy. I was hoping for no such thing. Oh, I am so sure. Sounding like a pretty heated argument being kicked up surrounding the Cosmos. Though Cosmos herself seems blissfully ignorant of this fact, instead, she's rubbing her rear at her and whimpering. That hurts. You should watch where you're going at least. You could have caused some serious harm. I know. I'm sorry. Really, I really didn't mean to knock you over. It was an accident. I swear. I just wanted to dance with Hiroki, but I've messed everything up. I'm such an idiot. I like to reassure Alice, but I am pretty in a sticky situation myself. This is pretty embarrassing. A lot of people look intrigued by this turn of events, Marina included. Well, shit. Shit. Marina was busy talking to a man in a pinstripe suit, but about what I presume was some important physical matter. But Cosmos and Ali's altercation makes her pause. She froze a still, crumble on the floor, then she pulls a face. Oh, for goodness sake, this is all I need. Thank you very much for causing the scene during my charity ball, you cretins. I'm sure this would reflect badly upon me, not at all. Marina rolls her eyes, then zeroes in on Cosmos. And I was right about that outfit. It really isn't appropriate appeal for an event like this. That skirt is far too short. Well, shit. Well, that was a disaster. Marina's charity ball has come to an end, and now my small party has retreated to a nearby hotel to rest and relax. If only Hazel aren't present, they both had to duck out early, but the rest of us are here. Marina, Ayu, Cosmos, Yui, Elise, and I. Damn! Why is Ayu even here in the first place? That's GG's. The six of us are sitting in the fancy suite which Marina booked. Though Marina had numerous rooms booked in advance, should any of us wish to stay here, recuperate, or group together in one of the rooms at the moment. At least sitting on the bed beside me, looking rather despondent, as per usual. She sighs and sadly she says, I can't believe I made such a spectacle out of myself. It feels like a disaster. Follow me wherever I go. I'm such an idiot. It's alright, we all make mistakes. Hey now, I give Elise what I hope is comforting pat on her head. I don't think you're an idiot, even if you were a little bit clumsy. It isn't the end of the world though. We all make mistakes. I know that, but when a person makes as many mistakes as I do, it starts to feel, I don't know, pathologic. There were so many people at that ball and they were all saw me trip over my own feet. I must have looked so stupid. You did not look exactly elegant. No. But try not to pay it too much heed. I was upset by all the drama myself when I first saw that happen. So I first saw what had happened. But it could have been, well, it could always be worse. Tripping over is not so grievous an offense. The papers might have run few stories on it, but I am sure the news will die down soon enough. Is that really true? I presume so. You aren't particularly well known, so I fail to see why any newspapers would want to fixate upon your failings. If I had fallen over, meanwhile, it would have been a different matter. That would have caused much more of a stir. At least sighs. So, you're right. I guess I really am a nobody. I mean, I've been doing my best to stand out, but it hasn't been working. Well, why don't you look on the bright side? What bright side? You might not be well known yet, but if you do end up in the papers, more people should know about you. This might actually be beneficial to your career. She doesn't have a career, from what I've gathered. Maybe I'm behind the times, but is it possible to make a career out of making a fool out of oneself? Of course it is. I should have known that firsthand. My fans asked me to do all sorts of weird things on camera once they got me to blend a meatball sandwich to drink it. Wait, what? Yo, these, okay. I'm sorry, what? I blended a sandwich and drank it. I did it live while I dressed up as a maid. I think my fans thought it would make me vomit, but it actually wasn't that bad. Maybe I could blend a tuna melt next. I'm a cat girl, so I like fishy foods. Ew. You're free to do whatever you want with your free time, but if you do start blending tuna melts, please don't do it anywhere near me. Thinking about it makes me want to hurl. Well, it wasn't supposed to be yummy. My fans thought it would be gross. And do your fans often make you do gross things, Cosmos? Sometimes. I don't always listen. Though one guy did promise to pay me a huge amount of money if I sent him a box full of my toenail clippings. What? Her fans are fucking weird. What? Toenail clippings? All you pulls a face. I'm sorry I asked. Is this what it takes to be famous? I won't have to drink blended sandwiches and send people my toenails, will I? No, I don't think so. Kazu's line of work is simply special. Oh, good. I was starting to get worried. The sandwich thing does not sound very awful, at least, but you ought to know, Hiroki, you're the only person that I would send my toenails to. I don't want anybody else to have access to such an intimate part of me. I'm good. You can keep your toenails to yourself. Yo, these girls are something. Anyways, let's go pick. Yo, that's very flattering. Well, I mean, this is actually a hard pick. What the hell? Shit. I mean, that seems out of pocket. Like toenails to yourself. Like, come on. That seems kind of out of pocket. But you know what? Let's go for the right one for this. See this, guys? Let's go for the right one. Thanks a lot, I guess. Well, that's very flattering. It's nice in a way that at least wants to give me a preferential treatment, but I can't say I find the idea of all that appealing. Dear God. Oh Lord, toenails, bro, that's crazy. Toenail clippings. What would I do with a bunch of her toenail clippings anyway? Wait, don't answer that. I don't want to know. I hope my blunder doesn't become common knowledge, though. I don't think I would be able to endure it if people started pointing at me in the streets and calling me an idiot. If people did do that, I would soon take them to task. Worry not, Elise. For as long as I remain in Japan, I will try to protect you. Would you really, Lady Yui? Naturally, you are one of my dear charges, and I am very fond of you. I guess that makes me feel a bit better. Marina harums archly her arms folded. I rather you think you give her too much leeway, Yui. You're too soft. Why you give a girl that so many chances is something of a mystery given all the pain she has caused us? But archly Marina looks at Elise, then after a brief pause she smiles. I suppose you're not so bad. You have mellowed out quite a bit since our first encounter. You might not be very good at dancing, but your company seems to make Hiroki happy if nothing else. I think that is valuable. Thank you very much. I don't think I've done anything at all that special, though. That's where you're wrong, Elise. You making other people happy is an important skill. You might be surprised, but not a lot of people are good at it. There's a lot of little people out there who are really mean. They seem to like upsetting people. You're nice, though. I can tell that you think about Hiroki a lot. I just wish you could be a little nicer to yourself. I agree. Having self-confidence is important as an idol. You'll never be able to make it to the showbiz industry without it. Or any other industry for the matter. I think that's your biggest problem at least. If you don't have any faith in yourself, how will anybody else? That is quite a good point. One which I must agree with. If I did not have any faith in my own capabilities, then I would never have been able to attain the success that I have. A big part of my courting the respect and admiration of others is to respect and admire yourself first. Lady Yui told me that, and Hiroki both tell me to be more confident. But I don't know. All these setbacks and mishaps make that a bit hard, but I guess I'll do my best. That's the spirit. You can do it, Elise. Now, Cosmos glances down at herself, smiling sheepishly as she does. It's been a bit, but I still feel sticky after getting all that poured on me. Since we've come to this fancy hotel, maybe I ought to make us use of the bathroom. I want to see how big it is, and I've heard that a place like this always gives you a lot of free shampoos and soaps too. I want to try them all out, of course. Freaking all the soaps. If I was on the clock, maybe I could even stream my bath time for my followers. Sorry, but I'm going to have to veto that idea. I will not have you filming yourself half naked in a hotel room that I booked. If the staff found out, I would be the one to get in trouble. And I do not think mixing electronics with water is a good idea. You might be a succubus, but you are not impervious to being electrocuted. I thought you might say that. Roger, Marina. Cosmo salutes Marina, smiling all the while. I won't feel myself then, but I don't think if I want to bath alone. Do you want to come with me, Elise? You got too sticky too, so you might want to wash it off. Oh yes, that sounds like a good idea. Doesn't it just a nice long soak should be a good way to unwind too? Especially if Hiroki comes with us. Me? Yes, you bath time is no fun. If you're not around, if I can't stream to my fans, then I at least want to enjoy myself with you. I worked really hard as a waitress this evening, so I think I deserve a bit of a reward. Won't you come with me? I promise I'll take my time to soak your back up, my wonderful boyfriend. Oh boy. Jeez. What a day. Sure has been a wild day. Well, anyways, that is the end of today's video, everyone. Thank you guys for watching this long gameplay of Sakura Succubus 8 today. And don't forget to check out the description for all my social medias. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.